The Commissioners Court of Brazos County will meet in regular session on January 26, 2021, 10 a.m. Commissioners Courtroom at the County Administration Building, 200 South Texas Avenue, Suite 106. First item on the agenda is identification, pledge of allegiance to the U.S. and Texas flag, and Commissioner Ford will lead us.
Dear Lord, we thank you for this day and the opportunity to do the good work of Brazos County. We ask you, Lord, that you look after our military, our first responders. Please guide and help our government in Washington, D.C. We ask, Lord, that you give us strength and hope during this pandemic in the last few months, possibly of finishing that. We look forward to doing the work of the county today. Lord, guide us in our decisions and our conversations. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Commissioner. Second item on the agenda is a call for citizens' input and/or concerns. Come on up, Charles.
I don't want to get hit of the cart this morning. Good morning. My name is Charles G. Mancuso. Good morning, Judge, County Commissioners, County employees, citizens of Brazos County. I've got a few little things I want to talk about. I've got a neighbor down the street that has a auto repair place, used car lot, and he's real set on parking his used cars right on the roadway, just inches away from the roadway. To me, it's very dangerous. To me, it's very dangerous. If you're traveling down the road, you got to move over a little bit. You're going to certainly hit a car that's sitting on the roadway. He's got about 8 or 9 cars. Well, I made a couple of calls to 2 different county departments. One says, well, we'll try and see. The other one came out, took a look, and determined that it wasn't a problem. Said there was no violation. It was perfectly legal to park on the bar ditch the county right away. Well, this person is using it for his business. It's dangerous. It's unsafe. Someone would certainly get hurt. So after I ran those two dead ends, I said, well, let me call my county commissioner, Russ Ford. I thought, and the guy didn't even know me. He probably won't even talk to me, but let me call and see what he can do. And Russ jumped right on it. He went out that afternoon, took a look. The guy promised that he would move them within 24 hours. I can't believe the guy actually moved them off the roadway back where they belong. Get your pass these down also. So we need to give Russ a gold star for today, or at least a silver star. Okay, but I realize everything else is going on. These may be minute problems, but we need to get them taken care of. The other thing I've talked about before is the sign that he put up in the bar ditch. He poured a piece of concrete, put that up. That's still a problem, something to work on. We've got mailboxes, stone mailboxes, in every precinct in the county. And like I said, they're dangerous. If someone hits one, you're going to get hurt and have a problem. The other problem I've got, someone's thrown a bunch of tires down on Mancuso Road, and there was about 8 or 10 tires a month ago. So I called the county. I talked to the lady in Road and Bridge, Karen, and she said, well, Mr. Mancuso, we'll get it taken care of. And lo and behold, 2 days later, the tires were gone. I thought, well, that's great. No more tires. Had to call her the following week, and I said, Karen, you did such a great job. I said, they came and threw 12 more tires in the ditch on the other side of the road. So she got that taken care of also. But we need to get these people that are littering, these people that are damaging our property, our county, give them a citation. Let them know that we're not going to put up with it, because they're just going to keep trashing the county. We got people that burn illegal, and that seems to persist quite a bit. Where I'm at, they think it's the Wild West. Well, let them know that it's not. I appreciate everybody's help. I appreciate the county functioning under such diverse situations we're in. I appreciate law enforcement. We need more law enforcement. We need more feet on the ground, as they say. We need more vehicles. We need to slow these drivers down. Y'all know how everybody's driving. You know, if they've got 6 inches, they're going to get in front of you. But we need to slow them down, let them know that the law still apply to them. But I appreciate what the county employees do. Keep up the good work. We're going to get through it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Charles.
Your pictures are up here, sir.
Response on that.
I'm not going to, I wanted to tell you something.
Okay.
Judge Peterson, I wanted to just say that we appreciate the citizens that call things like that to our attention. But Road and Bridge is doing a great job. They actually called in the environmental officer to do an investigation on the tire problem out there. So
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner. We will consider and take action on agenda items 3 through 13. Number 3 is update of COVID-19 vaccination operations from Jim Stewart, Chief.
Good morning, everyone. When I got in my car on December the 19th and drove to Albuquerque, my parting message to Judge Peters was, I would like to continue to be an ex officio member of the COVID-19 response for Brazos County for a couple of reasons. One, I thought I could offer some expertise and be helpful even though I was 800 miles away, but really more importantly, I'm pretty passionate about this response to COVID-19. And I'm pretty passionate about my fellow residents of Brazos County, who I've not forgotten. I may live in Bernalillo County now, but Brazos County is still in my heart. So on the 4th of January, 2 weeks of retirement, I was participating in a Zoom with Judge Peters, and I got a bit excited and went on what I would call a rant about the county's response to the COVID-19 vaccination program. And the next thing I knew, Judge Peters had reached out to me and said, hey, will you be our guy for the county on working this problem set? And being of weak mind, I said, absolutely. So that's why I'm back here with you today. Commissioners, Judge, Commissioner Cawley out there in Zoom land, thank you very, very much for the confidence that you've placed in me. I know that you have high expectations for what we're doing here in the county, and I intend to live up to that. So my mission, I'm back in the Army here, is to vaccinate 200,000 people. The first piece of that mission is 65,000 of us older citizens, which are considered 1B. Now, I get phone calls, I get text messages, I get Facebook messages, as all of you do, and I'm sure as the media does out there, about people, when am I going to get my vaccination? How come I don't have my vaccination yet? And my message is, be patient. You will get your vaccination. So that's my mission. And I'm not doing it by myself. I'm just kind of the leader of the pack. We have a really great team that we put together. After January the 4th, after that Zoom, after the judge asked me to take this responsibility, we immediately started meeting with our partners. Obviously, our partners are the 2 big cities, Bryan and College Station, but we also have Curtin and Wixom Valley that the county commissioners are responsible for. We've got 2 big hospitals here. We have Caprock, we have the Physician Center. But more importantly, and I know you as elected officials will probably think this is heretic on my part, but the media is a major and significant partner for us in this effort. Because without their willingness to listen to me blab on and on and on and capture those kernels out there and pushing out to our constituents, the message is not going to get out there. You know, we can't go door to door, but people do listen to WTAW. They do watch KBTX, KAGS, KRHD. They do read the newspaper. Those are all important partners for us as we push this message out, and hopefully the media will continue with that. Another major partner for us is the TAMU Health Science Center. They've got a lot of expertise there, but more importantly, right now they have a registration system that we're trying to perfect and overlay so that there's one point that people go to to register to get a vaccine here in the Brazos Valley area. The system that we're using today is the St. Joseph system. It's not as robust as we need it to be for 200,000 people. It was good enough for just the hospital, but it's not good enough for all of y'all, all 200,000 folks. TEEX, another major partner. I was a TEEX guy before the sheriff hired me 8 years ago. I reached out to the TEEX leadership, and they said, absolutely, what do you need? And they're going to provide some expertise for our incident command staff. They're going to help us with some expertise on the planning for the future. You realize that our focus has been the initial couple of weeks for the vaccination process, but this is not one and done. We're not going to get a few people there in 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 weeks. We're probably talking about multiple months here that this operation will have to continue, and so we have to keep the full force and effect there. And TEEX is going to help us with that future planning, because that's one of the things they do really well. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Red Cross and United Way. They're remarkable people there. The things that they do for the community during times of disaster, during times of need, it's just immeasurable. And the American Red Cross, Michelle, they're up to 500 and something volunteers so far.
More than that.
Yeah, so 600 people are registered. Let's take that number, with the American Red Cross to volunteer at our vaccination hub. So that's all great news. My big partners are my emergency management fellows, Michelle, Jason for sure, the City of College Station, the City of Bryan, and the Texas A&M University. They're all principal partners in this team that we put together. We also have community advocates out there, such as yourselves, because you advocate for your constituents in your precincts. Commissioner Cawley and Michelle and I work very closely together over the last 10 or 11 months to push out the testing sites to where people were more readily accessible to them. And that's one of the issues for this same community, is how we're going to get them to the vaccination hub. Well, we've reached out to the Brazos Transit District about could they run special buses to bring people to the vaccination hub, and I was just amazed. Anything we needed. They even volunteered to give us the parking garage as a vaccination site. But they've leaned forward in the foxhole, as us military guys like to say, and they're there for us to help us work through this process for that crew. I have to tell you one very quick anecdote, if I might. Angelita Alonso, who is a telephone pal with me when I was at the sheriff's office. Angelita works out of Santa Teresa's church and advocates for the Hispanic community. And she used to call me when I was at the sheriff's office to ask for help from one of her constituents who unfortunately had somebody in our jail. And so we talked a lot over the last several years. Well, I was sitting in Albuquerque, my phone lights up, and it's Angelita Alonso on my phone. And I'm thinking, oh, she must not know that I'm no longer at the sheriff's office. Oh, no. She knew what my new job was. And she said, Chief. I said, Angelita, yes. I don't want you to forget the community, the Hispanic community, the community that we serve as you're making your plans for the vaccination hub. And I said, I can assure you that we're not going to do that. But she's only one of many that have reached out to me. But the funny part, to me at least, of Angelita's comments was that it's nice to see that they recognize that senior citizens can make a contribution. I took that as a compliment. Okay, so I think I've already covered the numbers with you. So that's part of our challenge, is the numbers of people that we have to vaccinate. The vaccine allocations is problematic for us. The vaccines are not coming into the state of Texas like we all want them to. There's lots of us in the state of Texas that are putting organizations, putting structures together to vaccinate people, but we only can vaccinate people to the extent that we have vaccines. So my politician friends here, if there's anybody you can reach out to prod them to push more vaccines out to us, that would be very, very helpful. The other challenge is my counterparts, all these 1B people, they want the vaccine now. They're driving to Bexar County to get a vaccine now. And then they throw us under the bus because they had to go to Bexar County. There's no way that we can get 65,000 people through the Brazos Center in a week 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's just going to take time. And even though you've gotten the vaccine, you still must wear that mask. You still must practice social distancing. You still must clean your hands. You must still protect yourself. Just because you got the vaccine doesn't mean you go back to life as it was January of 2020. A bit about our registration process. Right now, the portal that we have for people to get in to start off for what we're going to do this Thursday and then for next week is through the St. Joseph registration process. And I get rumblings out there that people are saying, well, the St. Joseph people are getting preference. That is not a correct statement. Of the 30,000 people that they have that have registered through their portal, 29,000 of them are 1B people that are eligible to get the vaccination. And of that 29,000, 18,000 of them are not St. Joseph patients. They're people that don't go to St. Joseph for their medical care, but they've registered, so it's not preferential to St. Joseph's patients whatsoever. And I guess the last thing I wanted to talk to you about is we're going to have a trial run on Thursday. We did a walkthrough last week. We invited the media to come out so they could walk through the building without actually having patients there. We get into HIPAA things with that. But this Thursday, we're actually going to vaccinate 300 people. We're going to flow them through, provide the injection, put them in the observation area, and then cut them loose after 15 minutes. And I would encourage the commissioners to come to that and just be seen there. A big part of another one of our small challenges is that there are people that are reluctant to receive the vaccine. And I think the more that our leadership can show that it's safe and that they're doing it, and by gosh, you need to get it done too, I think the better off we are. So, Judge, with that, that concludes my prepared comments, and I'm prepared for any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Chief, for your leadership in this, and appreciate the report. Other than preaching patience for our constituents and encouraging them to sign up on the St. Joe's website, is there anything specifically that you would like us to do?
No, ma'am, you're doing it. You're doing it. You have provided the resources we need, the facility that we need, the people that we need to pull this thing off. It's a matter of us working through the bumps that will occur so that hopefully when we get an allocation of 1,000 vaccines a day for next week, we'll be able to inject 1,000 per day. Now, one of the things I would ask you to remember is that if we do 1,000 vaccines on Monday, 21 days later, we're going to do 1,000 more plus the 1,000 second injection. So that's 2,000. So that's what makes Michelle and Jason and I lie awake at night thinking, okay, how are we going to manage this? We're pretty comfortable that we can push through 1,500 to 1,800 people a day, but when we start getting incrementally larger than that, that does present some additional challenges, which is causing us to look to the future. Do we set up a second hub? Do we set up tents in the Brazos Center parking lot? You know, what do we do? Oh, the primary mission was to get this thing kicked off, and I told these guys, let's get it done by Monday 2 weeks ago, and they were ready to do it. We just didn't have the vaccines. But we are looking to the future as to how we're going to accommodate all these people.
Appreciate it.
Chief, I wanted to echo what Commissioner Berry said, and thank you. But also, one of the things I take away from your message is we've got to be patient. We've got to give you some time to do this thing. My real question is regarding the signing up for the vaccine. I know you said St. Joseph is overwhelmed with 35,000 or whatever people on their list.
30,000, Commissioner.
30,000 on their list. Where can people go sign up? Do we just have to be patient with you until you get that?
We are crafting that other registration portal right now. We had a meeting with the Health Science Center late yesterday afternoon. The EMCs are working very closely with them. Monica Martinez from TAMU EMC's office is working closely with them. So what we're trying to do is take something that pre-existed at TAMU. It was geared toward registering students and faculty, so we have to re-wick it so that our citizens can register through that portal. And I'm the eternal optimist, as many of y'all know, and I think within the next 2 or 3 days, that's going to be up and running.
Well done, sir.
Chief, I want to tell you how much I appreciate you your willingness to step in. I mean, I caught a little criticism because tell me, what in the world did you hire a guy from New Mexico? We got plenty of people around Brazos County that can run this thing. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, not only have you been involved with the whole process from the original discussions about if the hospitals are overwhelmed, do we look at hotels? Do we bring in tents for all that overflow of hospitals to the testing procedures that we've gone through? So you have all of that history, and you've made all the contacts with all the players, whether it's the cities or the hospitals or the state reps or TEECs or all. So you have all of that in addition to your skills, which are great, and I appreciate. And we could find somebody that had skills, that could handle it all, but to have all of that combination in one guy is the reason that you were whether you lived in New Mexico or not. And I didn't know what Zoom was a year ago. We all know what Zoom is today, and we have very few face-to-face meetings. We meet lots of folks on Zoom and have lots of meetings, so it really doesn't matter whether you're in New Mexico or whether you're in Brazos County, because you can do all that stuff on your computer or on the phone. So I want to make people aware that the critics of why we would hire somebody is because of the skills you have and because you've already, people have confidence in you. You've already shown that, and that all of the players that are involved in this know your skills and are confident in you, and you can reach out to them and get a response. I'm sure you've got the cell phone numbers of everybody involved, and you can call them and they're going to answer. So all reasons why you were the guy that needed to lead us through this vaccination stage. I mean, there's been stages, and certainly been stages, and you've helped with all of them. So I appreciate your willingness to step up and accept the challenge.
Judge, those are very kind comments, and I really appreciate it. But if I could say to you, this old bag of bones may not be in New Mexico all the time, but my heart is here in Brazos County all the time.
Yeah. And fortunately, we got lots of folks, and you name most of them, that are all involved, and you're just kind of trying to herd the cats and make sure that everybody's going the right direction, and you're doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, that completes the number three. Number 4 is approval of donated unclaimed property left by inmates leaving Brazos County Jail.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 5 is approval of grant application for the CellHawk software.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 6 is approval of grant application for Violence Against Women Act Justice Training Program prosecution.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 7 is approval of grant application for General Victims Assistance VOCA grant.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 8 is reappointment of Linda Goolsby to the MHMR Authority Brazos Valley Board of Trustees. Term is March 1, 2021 through February 28, 2023.
Move approval.
Second. Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? None motion carries. Number 9 is approval of delegation responsibility for the Brazos Valley Incident Management Team, BVIMT, for the vaccine distribution operations.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Michelle, you want to come up and kind of share what this team will do? And
The Brazos Valley Incident Management Team is actually a type team for the state of Texas. They work under the guise or work in cooperation with the Texas A&M University Texas Forest Service Lone Star Incident Management Team. And as such, they have certain procedures that they like to follow when they're given a deployment or they go on a deployment. They are currently, quote, quote, deployed with us right now, and a delegation of responsibility just basically outlines what they are going to do for us and how they're going to operate. We're very glad to have them. We're very lucky that we have a local Brazos Valley Incident Management team that can help us come in and do a lot of the paperwork that needs to be done in order to capture a lot of the activities and the personnel that serve with this operation.
So I guess this makes them official. By passing them through court, it makes them official.
Absolutely.
Okay. I believe we've had a motion and a second.
We haven't voted.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 10 is tax refund application for the following.
Move approval A through G.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve A through G. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 11 is budget amendments. Budget amendments FY 2021, 17.1 through 17.4.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 12 is personnel change of status.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 13 is payment of claims. Claim to be paid by Brazos County, claim number 8105352 through claim number 8105472 and claim number 9001210 through claim number 9001256.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 14 is acknowledgement of certificate of completion of a required course of training through Texas Public Information Act, Texas Open Meetings Act for Russ Ford, County Commissioner, Precinct 2. That's an acknowledgement. Number 15 is acknowledgement of the monthly report submitted January 2021. Number 16, Juvenile Director's Report on Detention Population. Linda.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. We presently have 18 juveniles in detention. We have 13 males and 3 females. 7 juveniles are in isolation for a protocol, just they come in and we isolate. And then we have 26 juveniles on electronic monitor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Number 17, Sheriff's Report on Inmate Population. Kevin.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Population high in the last 24 hours was 517.
517?
Yes, ma'am. 462 males, 55 females. We currently have 23 on electronic monitor with 5 pending. And our COVID report, we have 0 inmates who are positive. There are 11 quarantined. And agency, we have 9 employees total that are out. 6 isolated, 3 quarantined. That's my
Okay.
report. Thanks.
Thank you. Number 18 is announcement of interest items and future agenda topics. Hearing none. Number 19 is call for citizens' input and/or concerns. Hearing none. Next item is to adjourn. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Really good meeting, Judge.